Hello, everybody. It is me, Demetra K, and I hope that you are having a great day. Today is our Friday. It's Wednesday, right? Yeah, so it's our Friday. But I will be on the African Diaspora News channel tomorrow at 11 a.m. Central Time, so I cannot wait to see you again there. But nevertheless, the purpose of the Demetra K Show is to promote Black love, knowledge, and understanding of all things that go on in the Black community to make us an even better people, with the emphasis on even because we're great people, but we can always strive to do better. I'd like to say a big giant thank you, hello, and welcome to YouTube and Facebook. You are the other side of the conversation. Tonight, we're going to be talking about a Black American brother saying he's not mad at the Somali community in Minnesota for them taking it over, right? So, of course, I'm going to show y'all that video, and we'll have a discussion around that. Of course, you all know it's kind of like a hot topic trending now because Trump decided, and it's kind of been going on for a while, but it seems like it's boiling over. Trump is, in a sense, targeting the Somali community there in Minnesota, basically saying that they are, I guess, taking over and they're committing fraud and a whole host of other things. And so he wants them out, right? He's talking about taking a temporary protected status and a whole host of things. So we'll get into all of that, but let's wait for a couple more people to trickle in. In the meantime, Kevin, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Mike, how are you today? Volvo, what's going on? Brother Thunder, how are you? Always a pleasure to see you here. And let's see, Albie Chill. Nice to see you once again. I believe you were on the African Diaspora News channel with me earlier, so thank you. Dear self, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Yes, everybody's getting memberships. I was gifted by DSB, so we want to thank them for that. Brother Dom, my triple OG moderator, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. And simply Sandra, what is going on? I think I saw you earlier as well. Yes, you are here early, Thunder. Always glad to see you. So anyway, it's cold here in Houston, Thunder. Are you enjoying this cold weather? I could say that I guess I am. I don't want to complain, right? Because normally here, it is so hot, but it's literally has gone from one extreme to the next, right? Like 2 weeks ago, it was hot. And now I didn't know, it didn't even get 60 degrees. I can't even hardly talk because that's how cold I am. I probably should put on a jacket, but I'll wait till after I'm done because y'all know when I get to move it around, I get to warming up. But yeah, I think it was like 55 degrees here today. So, I got a chance to put on my giant coat because I had to go out and get my sunroof fixed. Y'all been telling y'all about my dilemma of my sunroof. Because, it rains here, like rains. And so I don't hardly ever drive the car. But when I did get in there, I noticed that it had like watermarks on the roof of my car, or the inside rather. I'm like, what the hell? So then one time I got in there, I was like, oh, it's like leaking up in here. So for the last couple of days, I had a plastic bag over it because I didn't move it. So I took it to get it fixed, took it to a windshield repair. They said they didn't do it, but they diagnosed it. So basically the sunroof that I have, I guess it has drains installed inside of it, but the drains were plugged up. So they said they didn't do that there. So they referred me to some place. And so they said, okay, well, if we have to replace the drains, it's going to be $700. I'm like, my car ain't even worth $700, right? But they said it'd be $95 if they can, unplug it. So thank God they were able to unplug it. So it cost me, I don't know, about $200 and something, the whole ordeal. So I'm glad it was nothing major. But yeah, I'm not going to be going to get no new car, right? I'm going to rock it till the wheels fall off, till the drains fall off, till the sunroof fall off. So anyway, y'all don't care about that. Let's get into it for the sake of time. And hello to everybody that's come on here. I'll get to you guys' comments in just a second. So anyway, again, as you guys know, there is a big brouhaha between the Trump administration and the Somali community in Minnesota. Now, it is said that the Somali community in Minnesota is the second largest community of Somalis outside of East Africa. So Somalia, Kenya, Ethiopia. So it's here. Okay. Now, I kind of talked about this a little bit yesterday on the African Diaspora News channel, because I think a lot of people really don't realize how the Somalis got here or why they're here. So there was a civil war in Somalia in 1991. And, without having to go through all of the details, their government was destabilized. They are dictators from what they're saying, right? was in bed essentially with the United States government. The United States government was giving them money and the weapons and things like that. And then when the United States kind of pulled out, it's like, yeah, okay, y'all on your own. Well, the regime there, and I want to get his name is Syed. Let me see. I have all the notes here. Syed Bari. I think that's how you say it. So nevertheless, his regime could not sustain what the United States was helping them do. And so warlords is what they're saying took over, got a hold of the weapons. And then there was a civil war between the warlords and different people, this, that, and the other. So in the meantime, there was already like a drought going on there, but then it created a famine, and just a whole host of other things that were going on with women and children that should not be going on with women and children. So the United States, along with some other organizations, religious organizations in Minnesota, was like, okay, we'll bring the refugees, because that's what they label them as, refugees. Bring them over here, and we'll help them get stabilized. So again, it was orphans, children, or people who are in danger, anybody that was labeled a refugee. So they ended up in Minnesota, and they called them the first wave of Somalis, right? So once they got over there and got stabilized with jobs, housing, and everything like that, they said, okay, bet we're going to send for, our other people. And so that's how that community there in Minnesota, different parts of it, I guess, got the way it is with the population of Somalis. So I just really want to kind of just say that before I show y'all, all the videos and stuff, because a lot of times, I guess it's kind of the narrative is like they just got there, like they were in Somalia and they said, we'll go to Minnesota. That's, that's where we're going. They were invited there, right? They were told, come get help. And that's how they got here. And especially that of Representative Ilhan Omar. She's been there since, I think, 1995. I think that's how long she's been there. And she also came here as a refugee. Of course, she's been in office since 2019. And, she goes hard in the paint for her people, and they put her in office. It should be said that there obviously is a lot of people in politics that are Somali there in Minnesota, and the police force. They're like, a major community where they are self-sufficient and things like that. So, of course, there's a lot of backlash, really, because people deem Ilhan Omar to be un-American and all that other stuff. So I'm going to show y'all a video of Trump. It kind of went viral yesterday of him saying some pretty, disparaging things about the Somali community. And I want to say these aren't my views. These are the views of Trump. But I should also say there's a lot of people who agree with him. They want the Somalis gone. And it's just kind of funny how things turn, because not too long ago, the focus, and I don't know if it still is, I imagine so, was on the Latino community. Now it's on the Somali community. So I should also say that many of them in Minnesota are American citizens. They were born there. I think most of them at this point, well, probably about half, I guess, were born there now. And the other ones are, naturalized citizens and things like that. So I'm going to show you this video of Trump, and then we'll continue.
Which is barely a country. They have no anything. They just run around killing each other. We're going to go the wrong way if we keep taking in garbage into our country. Ilhan Omar is garbage. She's garbage. Her friends are garbage. These aren't people that work. These aren't people that say, let's go, come on, let's make this place great. These are people that do nothing but complain. They complain. And from where they came from, they got nothing. They came from paradise, and they said, this isn't paradise. But when they come from hell, and they complain and do nothing but, we don't want them in our country. Let them go back to where they came from and fix it.
Okay, so again, that was sped up, but that was President Donald Trump, basically, and without biting his tongue at all, calling Ilhan Omar and her whole community garbage. Says that all they do is, bitch and complain, and that they come from hell. And I would agree with that. Not that it's naturally that, but it was made that. Somalia was made that. Due to, again, the civil war that took place over there. Even to this day, I think they don't have any really political structure there. Policing or, judicial system is just a mess over there. So, yeah, I would agree that it's that. But, again, you have to add into the United States with that, that they're complicit as well in what happened to Somalia. So some pretty harsh words from Trump. And, again, he is trying to remove their temporary protected status. But It is said that it's kind of hard to do and almost impossible without going through a whole lot of steps. So he can't just say, well, I'm the president, I'm taking their temporary protected status. Sounds like he has to do it, I guess, all over the United States. And you can't just target like one community in one area type thing. And a lot of those people are American citizens, again, whether they were born there or they are naturalized or whatever, or not naturalized, or they gain their citizenship. So that's going to be hard to do. But again, he's saying that they're committing fraud. I don't know how true any of that is. I just heard that there's a lot of fraud in Minnesota. Guess some money that's coming from the government or the state of Minnesota, and it's supposed to be funneled to like nonprofits and things. But it sounds like those nonprofits aren't really using the money. People are, buying houses and things like that. Okay. Now we're going to get to this brother who said, hey, he ain't mad at the Somali takeover. And he's got some, pretty good reasons as to why he feels that way. Y'all ready? Here we go.
I'm not mad at the Somali people. I want y'all to hear me loud and clear. I am not mad at the Somali people in the state of Minnesota. I'm not mad at them. You know why I'm not mad at them? Because what they're doing is what happens when people come together to build an empire. And that's what they have done and are doing. They have created an empire in the state of Minnesota. And they are unified by one ideology, by one politics called Islam. They're not divided by some gender ideology. They're not divided by feminism. They're not divided by some type of queer politics or anything like that. They're not divided by liberalism. Because Islam, the kind of Islam they practice, it is resistant to liberalism. It is resistant to feminism. It is resistant to any type of ideology that would disrupt them internally. And you know what's so interesting? I'm going to say this. You know what's so interesting? What they're doing is what the Nation of Islam has been preaching since the 1930s. The Nation of Islam has tried to get black Americans to do the same doggone thing since the 1930s. Elijah Muhammad preached it. Malcolm X preached it. Louis Farrakhan preached it. But now you see this thing in action in the state of Minnesota among the Somali people. And the president has a dilemma. And the dilemma is this, is that these people are entrenched. They are part of this society right now. Many of them are citizens. He can't deport all of them. And they're having babies. That's the thing. They are outbreeding the whites. And they're collective. I've been to Kenya. I've been to Africa. I've been to Uganda. I see how they work together in those countries. And what they're doing in those countries is what they're doing right here. I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you. Shout out to the Islamic Kingdom in the state of Minnesota.
His laugh is just infectious. I love people who laugh genuinely. So basically, y'all heard him. He basically said they have one God, one faith, one community. They do not bow down to liberalism and feminism and anything else that keeps them divided. And then, of course, he pointed out that they are having babies. They're basically populating. That's something that Black Americans, we do, but we know the story with the deletion of babies and Planned Parenthood and how that was something that was kind of dropped off into our neighborhoods. Hey, Black woman, do you really want to keep it? Type conversation. And so I'm assuming that the Somali community, they do not delete their babies as often, and maybe there's not really a thing with them. And if that's the case, you think about somebody like Ilhan Omar, who is a Democrat, and the Democrat Party, that's their mantra. You should be able to do that if you want. So it's like, if what he is saying is true about their community, they're populating, they pretty much have their children, but you have Ilhan Omar as part of the Democrat Party, who is really talking to Black women. Hey, Black American women, you don't need to have your babies. You don't want them. Here's a place you could go and things like that. That's, I think, problematic. Especially if she doesn't feel that, and I don't know, but I'm just speculating, she doesn't feel that way about her own community. But he also said that they do not bow down to feminism. I guess I maybe should probably spend a little bit more time doing some research on how they feel about certain things. But again, Ilhan Omar is a part of the Democrat Party, and they're really big on feminism and things like that. But again, if that's not something her community buys into, then it's kind of like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? So basically, are you, preaching that to everybody else with your party, and you don't necessarily preach that to your own people? I don't know. I'm just kind of thinking out loud on the fly here. But more importantly, he says that we have been told as Black Americans to do that. He has cited that of the Nation of Islam under the Honorable Elijah Muhammad that since the 1930s, right? We've been told to do for self, unify and all that. And, during those times, I know we were more unified, although we had some issues, right? And we know that our issues really started from the plantation. And so what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was doing was trying to wake up the Black consciousness and say, hey, yeah, we need to really do for self. Let's get out of the way and get them out of our way, right? The oppressor, and let's build. But here we are in 2025. Again, a lot of people are mad at the Somali community. Like I said, I really have not gone that far into the weeds with it. I just kind of see the conversation. So I don't know exactly how much fraud or whatever it is they're doing. I don't have any information on that. But just on the surface, watching how they build and things like that, yeah, that's, I think, and I agree with him. We should be taking notes from that kind of stuff. And I know that, well, I kind of talked about it yesterday too. They don't necessarily have the same experiences that we do as Black Americans, although they, are over here due to a civil war. We were freed due to a civil war, and I say freed in quotations. But we don't have the same experiences. So I guess with that, it's probably easier for them to organize because they don't know how not to be organized. And so again, that they weren't invited over here, they've taken a full advantage of everything that the United States offered them and all these nonprofits and things that help them. And so then you have Trump, who is, pretty raging mad about them doing that. I think his issues probably really just more personal with Ilhan Omar, and he's probably listening to some of the people in his cabinet. Y'all do the research on that. They don't really like Muslims and things like that. So I think a lot of that is personal. But I want to show y'all this. I talk about this all the time. This here is called the Hidden Secrets of Oriental Wealth. You can listen to that on YouTube. A friend of mine by the name of O actually recommended this book to me years ago, and I've been preaching about it ever since, only because this book, or on YouTube, you can listen to it, talks about the same principles that this gentleman was talking about and what the Somalis do. They don't care. Just like in this book, they don't get involved. They don't let politics ruin their community or anything else. They say, hey, we're going to put our head down and keep on grinding until we make it, right? And then we're going to watch, rinse, repeat. We don't argue with each other. We don't hate our man. We don't hate our woman. We ain't picking no politician over this, that, and the other. The goal is to make money, save it, build, wash, rinse, repeat, right? And those are the same principles that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was teaching, and also, in a copious amount of his books, especially The Message to the Black Man in America. So, as I said, I'm not in the weeds with that as far as all the stuff that they got going on, but that's the one thing that I also noticed, and I talked about it yesterday, is that they're a well-oiled machine. And so instead of us getting into the weeds or the mud about they this, they that, they this, they that, because whatever Trump decides to do to them or with them, we don't have no control over that at all, right? But with that, we should be turning our focus back inwards and say, hey, how do we get to that level? How do we get to where we are having a takeover of a community and our well-oiled machine? Now, I also understand, because I've kind of been spending some time kind of just trying to search some things out, that some in the Somali community are very anti-Black. I guess, I don't know, Black American. I've seen a lot of them say that they're not Black, that they are Somali, and it's another term that they've been using. Forgive me, I don't remember what it is. But then I saw a news conference of Ilhan Omar today saying that they are Black, right? She was saying, oh, Trump is targeting Black people. He's targeting Black people or Black people, and he's always doing this to Black people. So I'm like, okay, so are they Black or are they not? Like, I don't really know. Again, I need to do a little bit more research, but I agree with this brother. Black Americans, that's where our focus should be. Should not be, focusing on what they got going on. Because like I said, what Trump and them decide to do is out of our control. We have no say-so whether we want them to go or whether we want them to stay. And in closing, I'll say this. I have seen a lot of Black Americans, presumably, cheering on what's going on with the Somali community and things like that, wishing for them to be deported. I've even seen some people say call ICE on them. Again, many of them are American citizens. But for me, I'm like, well, to me, I don't want to necessarily say it's a waste of time because I don't want to tell people what to do. But I think we as Black Americans should spend more time trying to figure out how do we get to that level. I know that they have help from the government and we often have hindrance. but we still should try to figure this out. So anyway, let me see what y'all have to say, and thank you for bearing with me. I'm gonna try to go all the way to the top if I can. I think I can. Hey, brother Samuel, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Thank you, Albie Chill. I appreciate that. Sister Shirley, how you doing? Simply Sandra said, I was there with you, sis. You were on fire when Anthony. Oh, I wonder if Anthony, I hope I wasn't too hard on him, but he wanted me to respond, so I did. Thunder says, Diamond in the back, sun rooftop, digging in the scene with a gangster lean. Woo, woo. Right. I wasn't going to be digging in nothing if I was going to have water coming through there. Negroes, how you doing? Black America, what's going on? She says, Miss D, tell your moderators to stop blocking me. Y'all, who blocking Black America? It ain't me. As I say to my wonderful, beautiful, lovely moderators, y'all don't block people, especially our triple OGs. Black America's a triple OG in the building. We should be able to have different opinions. Now, y'all know who to block, right? If you know that the people who come up in here saying things that are just really doing the most, yeah, those people, but our triple OGs, we don't want to block them. And Sister Shirley said, Demetri, did you know anything about Black Americans calls out New York Reparation Commissioner for language that could add African immigrants? I've heard a little bit about it today. I have not delved into it at all, but that's not surprising to me. That's not surprising. They've been trying to do that. They've been trying to figure out a way to include other Blacks, if you will, that are not Black American. So it's not new. They're just being bold about it. But the crazy part is, you want to know the crazy part, Sister Shirley? The crazy part is they'll probably get it faster than we will. I don't know. I just have a feeling. But the other question is, what are we going to do about it? Because they should be getting reparations from other places. They have no business getting reparations from America. None. They do not have the experience that we have here or our ancestors have had. They have no skin in the game at all. As far as even, they shouldn't even be asking for reparations. It's appalling is what it is. But see, a lot of that is our fault because we get those type of people in office and then they turn around and give us their whole behind the kiss. Like what is the reasoning that you would include Africans that are not, don't have blood and sweat and tears in the soil like our ancestors? It makes absolutely no sense. But so, yeah, I saw a little bit about it. John, how you doing? Says, I saw a clip where the Somali guy was spitting out fire about ADOS FBA. The nerve, this guy is a Trump supporter. Well, we're going to see how much of a Trump supporter he is when Trump and them get to running through there, which sounds like they already there, right? Let's see, in fresh air, how you doing? It says Brooklyn, Bronx, second and third most Somali. Laugh out loud. Yeah, for what I understand, it's Minnesota. I could be wrong, but that's what my research told me. So I don't know. Let's see. Kevin says Somali people say they aren't Black. Remember Black Hawk Down? Yes, I remember Black Hawk Down. That took place in 1993, where 2 helicopters from the United States military was shot down due to, the fights with the warlords. 18 service members were killed and countless others on the other side. So, yeah. And then the United States is like, yeah, we good. They pulled out. And so that was really kind of the real destabilization there. It was just, free for all type thing. It doesn't sound like it's gotten its legs back since. Kevin says, I have no sympathy for anybody but Black Americans first. JJ, how you doing? Says, as soon as they arrived, they started to show their behinds the FBAs. Yeah. So I hear. Right, how you doing? Says they were actually refugees compared to some other immigrants that claim that status. Yes, they actually were. That's why I said, so like for me, I like to do research. I don't like to just jump in like, we mad. Why are we mad? I don't know, because they mad. Like I want to like have my own reason to be mad if I'm gonna be mad, right? So when I did the research, I was like, oh, okay. So it's not like they would just, put their finger on a map and was like, okay, we're going to Minnesota. They had a lot going on. So yeah, they are true refugees in its true sense of that. Just to give it some context, Fresh Air says FBA, ADOS get government jobs, immigration jobs. So you're saying go get them the immigration jobs, okay? Albie Chill says, laugh out loud. He been listening to Tariq. He being Trump or who? Negro says, but is this more about them being Muslim? I think so. That's why I said, yeah, I think so. Mike said, yeah, he stayed picking fights. This is crazy. It really is. Raven, how you doing? Yeah, he went in. It's very nasty to call people garbage and things like that. It's like, my God, I don't think we've ever had a president like Trump. You know what I mean? Like, there's no chill, no decorum. I'm not saying that any other presidents haven't thought things like that, but Trump, boy, they're garbage. She's garbage. It's like, okay. Thunder says, they say that money the Somalis send back home is more than the entire country's government budget. The money sent back makes up 40% of the country's GDP. That probably makes sense. But my thing is, I'm sending the money back, and what are you sending it back for? If it's destabilized to the point where y'all can't go back, you know what I mean? That's kind of where I'm confused. You're sending the money back to do what? What exactly are you sending it back for? Simply Sandra says, Ilhan Omar's husband is white. I seen a picture of her and him. Yes, he is white. So she was with somebody else. I don't know if he was a brother, or if he was a Somalian. Sounds like she's been married twice before him. And yeah, sounds like maybe they kind of left their significant others to be together. I don't know. It's a mess, right? So yeah, there's a lot of contradictions to that of Ilhan Omar. Yeah, she run around with a white man. He said, I wonder how he feels about all this. So let me skip down a little bit. Emma Daniels, what's going on with you? He says Trump showed his true racist colors. He said it with his full chest. Yeah, there's no even trying to explain that, right? Black America says we have too many African people in Vegas too. Now I haven't been to Vegas in it's probably been 2 years. I can't say that I've noticed. Is that something that's recent there? Because I can't say that I've noticed that when I was there. But I am going back early next year, though. I should say that. But I haven't noticed that. Zip, zoom, zoom. What's going on with you? Affectionate Earth. How you doing? So what the F is this dude talking about? And which dude was that? I'm sorry. Jay Sanders. How you doing? So Somalia is poor and war torn. Yeah, that's what I'm wondering too. Why is it sending money back? Hey, Don't Believe Media. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Naima, what's going on with you? Says, is he saying stealing is a part of the Islamic ideology? Didn't hear him say that. I don't know. Like I said, I have not studied all the accusations. I've heard that there's a lot of fraud going on. So I don't know if this just the Somali people are doing that or to what degree is going on. But I have heard the accusations, and I saw Governor Tim Walz. He basically said, I don't care what color you are. If you're committing fraud, we're going to deal with you. But he did, I guess, shun the conversation of Trump, demonize the Somali community there. But he said, yeah, if somebody's committing fraud, we're going to get to the bottom of it. But it sounds like to the tune of $1 billion or more in fraud. So yeah, Thunder says, not going to lie, he is telling the truth. Yeah. Oh, who? Trump or the guy? Arniba says, well, MAGA is out there messing with them. Yeah, he put a target on their back for real. Arniba, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Jay Sanders says there's only 80,000 Somalis in Minnesota. They're not outnumbering nobody. Well, the way they people, I know that's what I heard, the number 80,000. But the way people talking, you would think that they didn't took over the whole state. I mean, I don't know how many people are in Minnesota altogether, but $80,000 people rather. And I know, but with the way they talking, I think they don't want none of them there, to be honest with you. Big Rich, how you doing? Says he stands there and laugh in the face of Black Americans, not mentioning that group of people had government backing them. We have a government that's trying to destroy us. That's the difference. Yeah, so that's what I said. I know I'm behind in the comments. They have help. We have hindrance. So that does need to be said. GM South, how you doing? South Carolina, hope you're doing well. Mr. Giggles, you crazy. Ryan, how you doing? Says stealing tax money. That is an allegation. Kat Ferguson, how you doing? Says they taught to scheme, lie, and scam. What a cycle. Again, I don't know how true any of that is. I'm not saying it's not. I just personally have not gone that far in the weeds yet, but I've heard that allegation. So yeah. Timothy, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Says Black Americans still want leaders and groups that keep us divided. See, there you go. We don't have a leader in our mind. Then what do we do? I don't know what to do. We need somebody to lead us. And then when we vote for people and we think they're our leaders, and what do they lead us to? You know? Yeah, I saw the number 1 billion. So I don't know. I don't know if it's just the Somalians. As I was looking at a report, it looks like it was a copious amounts of people who were doing it, groups of people. Let's see. Skipping on down. Don, how you doing? Says their homeland is in shambles. Flee. It is. It is in shambles, even to this day. Let's see. Then I'll start reading the comments again. Y'all just want to catch up a little bit. Yeah. Shutdown of the day. How you doing? So they imported them to undermine us. That is their fault. I'm not mad. I don't know if they imported them to undermine us. That might have been an ulterior motive. I don't know. But yeah, the premise was though that they were considered to be refugees. That's the reason they gave. Now the real reason behind it, it could be, I don't know. JJ, you say I'm sorry, they have very serious gang problems with their youth. Do they really? Yeah, see, I'm learning a lot about the Somali community rather. Let's see. Big Richard said, let's take notes on how they build, but did the government put cracking their neighbors? It says, did the government implement mass conservation on them? No government supports them. No, the government. So you're saying the government supports them. They didn't have, all the things that we had. No, I totally agree with you. Thunder says, I will listen tonight. It sounds like me and you both need to listen. Black Rose, how you doing? Says, well, legal people don't need sanctuary cities, so this must come to an end immediately. Yeah, no, and they're legal over there. Many of them are legal citizens. But again, he's talking about taking that citizenship away. I don't know. Jay Sanders says Trump said exactly what Tariq said. He told them to go home and build their failing homeland. Yeah. I think you also got to have a conversation too as to why it's failing and why it's failed. The United States had a hand in that as well. So I think you have to tell the whole story. Also, one should know again that they were invited. I don't know. I'm not necessarily saying that's optimal for us, but it was optimal for them, right? So they were invited to come over here, and to this day, the government and their homeland is still destabilized. They don't have really any infrastructure in place to control anything. So I think that's kind of the problem. But again, I wonder why they're sending money home if it's still in shambles. Just asking questions. Just reading some of the comments. Go Gadget, Go, how you doing? I haven't heard that in a long time. Timothy says, willful ignorance is going to cost Black people greatly. Have a great evening. No, it's already costing us that. Hoyle, how you doing? He says, and one link of salam to you as well. He says, most of the immigrant community have been giving government economic help. The American government thrives on the foundation, Black disunity, and attack our economic development. Remember, the American government fights our economic development with liberal politics. He says our unity and separation, our survival. They use them in our communities. Also, the brother has some good points. Yeah, all of that is true. That all that is true. It's never not been true in regard to us. But I think now they just pretty much figure they got Black Americans where they need us. We'll try to fight some things. We'll deem boycotting Target more important than boycotting for our own good. Boycotting Target does us no good at all. In fact, boycotting Target to the point of, I don't know, is the goal to put them out of business. Boycotting Target hurts a lot of Black Americans who work at Target in all parts of Target. So Target goes out of business, and then those Black people don't have jobs. And what? Like I said, we don't have a safety net for them. We're not boycotting and starting our own Target per se. So, when Target goes under, we're not saying, okay, I know you lost your job at Target, but come over here, we got jobs. So it's like we kicking ass backwards. I don't know. Jay Sanders, I'm a fully grown woman. I never will be your girl. Okay. So do not address me as a girl. And that's the last time I'm going to say that. And you said, how do we get to scamming? I don't even know what you're talking about, but don't disrespect me again and see what happened. Because I got your girl, but I promise you, she's not sitting right here. Zip Zoom Zoom, he says, we are going to have to become just as exclusive and selfish like everyone else. We've been told to do that. We're trying to do that. Okay, Jay Sanders, you gone. Y'all ain't got to, I'm going to block them myself. Bye. Because I don't need to try to do nothing at all. What I want to do, I'll tell you what I want to do. I don't bite my tongue. My heart don't pump no Kool-Aid for nothing or nobody. I'm not esoterically trying to get you to do nothing. You can think for yourself. I'm telling you what I see and what I got going on. And unfortunately for you and people like you, I will never jump on a bandwagon of disliking something or somebody because you don't like them. I'm gonna do my own research and figure that out for myself. See, I'm not a bandwagoner. I don't follow somebody else who ain't following nobody with no sound reasoning. Like I said, it would behoove you to think for yourself. But until then, your ass is blocked. Now, and that came straight from me, no chaser. Molly Cakes, how you doing? Says she changed her tune about being black when Trump went after her and her community. So you're talking about Ilhan Omar. Got you. Let's see. Mr. Ernest, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Hoyle says when the Arab and African countries get to this country, they are taught against foundational black people. Yeah, everybody is. Everybody is taught that. So, I mean, that's something we know. But again, all right, we know that. Now what? Because like I said, there in Minnesota, we don't have no power to tell Trump to do it or not to do it. But in the meantime, why don't we focus on building our own community? Because I know why. It's easier for us to, finger point and cry and whine, not us, but them, cry and whine about everybody else and what they doing and what they not doing, but yet we're leaving our own house unattended. See, I'm personally not for that, but I can't tell anybody else what to do. Fluffy Bunny, how you doing? Says Trump is 100% correct. Wally, what's going on with you? Says it's Somalis were so great. Then why couldn't they in their homeland and stay there? Hopefully if I explained it, because I know I'm behind in the comments. 23 Archer, how you doing? Says just had a woman age 111 pass away. Her people were annihilated. And so you're talking about Mother Viola Ford Fletcher from Tulsa. Yes, I talked about her last week. So yeah. I got what you meant, Omawali. Nyla, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Jacoby, what's going on? Says sorry I misspelled it, but it's a slang term for black people. Yeah, I heard that. That's what they call us, I guess, jurors. Groovy, how you doing? It says shut it down. Beverly White, how you doing? It says President Trump is right. Get these anti-black American people out of here, all of them. And Groovy gang, you say follow California SB 515. I've heard of that. There were so many of them. If you don't mind enlightening me to which one that is. I know it's a reparation bill, if I'm not mistaken. Sherry, how you doing? Says the things that these immigrants feel like they're entitled to and have done nothing for the U.S. Yeah, I would say that overall, they've probably done nothing. I mean, they're taxpayers. But again, like I said, I'm not going to sit up here and like go along to get along type of thing. My job is to tell y'all all that there is to stuff. And then you could decide what it is. Again, they were invited to come over here under refugee status. So I think if we include that, then, maybe it helps. I don't know. Lily, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Fluffy Bunny says, me and my husband was so happy when Somalis moved in our neighborhood because they were the only blacks. We met them at their mailbox to welcome them. They were extremely standoffish. Yeah, they probably are. I don't think I know anybody from Somalia. Not that I could recall. I don't. Roz, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Let's see. Don't need no man. Stop telling me I do. How you doing? I hope you're doing well. Ryan, you say sad to see people in the chat think we should become thieves to get money now. Well, who said that? We should become thieves to get money. I haven't seen nobody say we should become thieves to get money. Where are you getting that from? Zip zoom zoom. He says, did you see that viral video of the Somalian preaching very disrespectful comments to our Black Americans? I haven't seen that. Is that the one that says that 90% of Black Americans don't know who their fathers are? Is that who it is? But I haven't seen it. Negro says Black Americans are always welcoming, accepting to any stranger, immigrant. That's how you know we're the Indians. Well, I don't know, but we're definitely taught that. We're taught that from the plantation, you know, just forgive and welcome everybody. And I agree with you. We are the only, I think, group of people that welcome any and everybody, no matter what they have done to us or any of that. We crave acceptance, no matter where it comes from. What? Groovy Gang says destabilize it some more. Okay. Black Rose says the funds leaving the U.S. is a big problem through fraud and wars. Christian, how you doing? Says so why you mad, homie? Gearhead, how you doing? Says he previously, her previous husband was her brother. They married so the brother could scam citizenship. Now y'all know damn well the lady wasn't married to her brother. Black America says you haven't come here since the Usher concert. I'm trying to think, has it been the Usher concert? You might be right, but I'll be back soon. Was it Mariah? Oh, I think I saw Mariah on my birthday, not last year, but the year before. So yeah, it's been almost 2 years, but I'll be back. Yes, I will. John Hill, how you doing? Says if they are anti-Black Americans, they are not our allies. Deuces. It's fair. Dorothy, how you doing? Says the fraud is incredible. All kinds of fraud. These people need to go home. CJ, how you doing? Says $1 billion worth of fraud. That's what I heard. I don't know exactly if it's all them or it's some of them, but I heard it was over $1 billion. So yeah. Hey Cynthia, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Jacoby says, well, the Somali community in Minnesota actually dictates the policies and the politics of who's going to get elected. That's how much influence they have with 86,000 of population. Well, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to influence politics. That's what Dr. Claude Anderson been trying to tell us to do, but we won't. So, Aaron, how you doing? He says they want us simple people gone. They want us depopulated because we're all dumb according to us. Well, we know that's not true, but they definitely want us to be depopulated. It's been that way since we left the plantation, right? The Negro Project, eugenics, and a whole host of other things that they have fashioned. Some obvious and some not so obvious to get rid of us as Black Americans. It hasn't worked, but they're still trying, right? So yeah, Mr. South Carolina, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Mary Taylor was going on, says 50% are illegal. They got here by committing fraud. All the money they have been stealing could have been used as reparations. Time's up. Time to go home. Jesus is Lord. How you doing? Says, what is the lipstick brand that you are wearing? It's gorgeous on you. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Today is MAC. One day could be Fenty. Just today is MAC though, but I wear all kinds of reds. But yeah, this is Ruby Woo by MAC. And then I also have another one. What's the name of that? Let me see if I have it here. Not that y'all want to know the brands of lipstick that I wear. Well, you do. And this one is by, it's a black company. I'm trying to see the Black Radiance. Black Radiance, and there's another one I have somewhere. So I try to, wear black owned because I know people ask me that. What kind is that? But, Ruby Woo and Rihanna Fenty is actually my favorite ones just because of how they feel. But thank you for asking. Miss Nerds, how you doing? It says Passport brothers are not of Jacob's daughters and named Dinah. Okay. Herschel, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Let's see. Who else haven't I seen that I want to make sure I get to? No worries, Big Rich. It happens. It's better safe than sorry, right? Using your voice to text. Jacoby, thank you for that. Love and appreciate you. Says, no, it's combined with feeding our future and the autism fraud. They went back to pre-COVID and it shot up to 400 million within 5 years. And also the slang term for Freeman is Jareer. Okay, so that's where the fraud is coming from. Okay, got you. So yeah, like I said, I just need to get maybe a little bit more into the weeds. But I kind of really don't because I want to, again, focus on us. Negro says, how does Omar have $30 million in 5 years? I don't know. I looked because I was like, that's kind of a lot. So it does say she has a net worth between 5 million and 30 million. So I don't know. That's a good question. How did she even get 5 million unless she already had that? But I doubt that she did. If she came over here, I think she was 12 or something like that when she came over here as a refugee. So I don't know. I doubt she had that. Her family had that. So that's a good question. How did she amass so much money? And I don't know what she had before 2019. That's how long she's been in office. So it's a good question. Okay, so let's see. Naima says, I don't think their citizenship should be taken if they haven't committed a crime. Yeah, but that's too much common sense, though. J Bubba, how you doing? Says, I'm with Trump. Somalia is a hellhole, and they just made the age of consent to 9. And Biden won't want people from those countries here. That's insane. Is that the age of consent in Somalia? Because if that's the case, that's crazy. And hopefully they know they can't bring that over here. You know, if that's true. And again, I don't know really a lot about their customs. Cynthia says, I saw Governor Tim on the news. Instead of him being concerned about the $1 billion stolen from the taxpayers, he's worried about Trump MRI. This is very confusing to me. Yeah, I've seen him on the news. I don't know what's going on with Trump's MRI. The doctor said it was normal, but people are like, why would you take an MRI? It's not something you normally have. So I don't know. Herschel says, so no tears will be shed. Okay. Dorothy says, I never vote early, but I did this past election because this immigration situation has been hurting our communities. These people must go. Got you. African Native. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Let's see. Just going down. Yeah, I'll be having to block people when they be doing too much. Hanny Fahal, how you doing? Says, take care of you, my dear sister. Oh, I will. When I get off here, I'm going to sleep. Wednesdays is kind of like my heaviest day because I have a lot going on. Plus, I have to go take my car to get it fixed. And so, yeah, I'm a little exhausted. It's okay. Kevin, how you doing? Says, answer honestly. Does America not go around to stabilize the nation? They do. I know that they do. I'm just saying a lot of people don't know that. They don't know the history. And I don't have that book up here. I put it away. See if my daughter will come in here. Deanna, can you do me a solid? She's like, can you find my book, The Tattoo Soldier? It's over there somewhere.
Where? In the office?
Yeah, it's in my office right here. It's either right here somewhere in that bookcase or in that bookcase. It's not a, you see it? Thank you. Thank you. So I read this book a long time ago. I had to read it. What was the name of that class? Some sort of a history class when I was in college. Called The Tattooed Soldier by Hector Tobar. And it talked about, I think it was El Salvador. They were from Guatemala. And it talked about, it's a fictional book, but it talked about how the United States government destabilized their country. And they funded like the guerrilla warfare and things like that. So it's based off of facts, but it's a fictional story through guerrilla warfare. And so a lot of the people there came over here because they were fleeing, right? They were fleeing, being persecuted and taken out of here and things like that. And so once they got over here, over in Guatemala, they might have been a doctor, which a lot of them were. Like they were things. They had great jobs in Guatemala. But in this particular story, the character, he was a doctor. And I won't tell you in case you read it. It's a good book. He was a doctor, came over here, and then he had to be like a dishwasher and things like that. And I won't tell you why it's called The Tattoo Soldier, but it's a very interesting turn of events. But I'm talking about this book because until I learned what this book actually in that class taught me what the United States government does to other countries. But when I read this book, I said, oh. And then I learned more about like with Gaddafi. Libya. United States did that under the Obama administration, right? So if Libyans came over here seeking asylum or whatever, that would probably be why, right? So for me, I just try to get a little bit more information before I jump to conclusions. I want to know why and what happened type of things, because I know, especially being on here, it's very easy to be incendiary, because unfortunately, being incendiary, unfortunately, it makes people a lot of money on here. And I just don't want to be incendiary, especially if it doesn't have a point to it. I'm not saying what the Somali community in the Minnesota is doing is great, especially that they're tend to be black, anti-black American. I'm just having a conversation for the sake of conversation about how they go about organizing, and that's where I would like to spend my time trying to figure out how to get to the money as a community. That's just me, though. Cynthia says, Dimitri, I'm sorry, I went to Burlington and spent $175. They had some really good sales. Nice. Since the immigrants are no longer using vouchers, you crazy. I ain't mad at you. If you get in the sale, shoot, you spend your money wisely. I'm about spending the money wisely, okay? Ain't all that on that foolishness. If I can't get it from my people, I can get it from somewhere else on sale. I'm going to do that, right? You never got to apologize for that. Edward, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. I see y'all having some great conversations back and forth in there. Loretta, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Am I saying your name wrong? Arona, I hope I said that right. He says George Herbert Walker Bush is the president that brought in Somalis. He says not because he cared, but because he could use them. That's what they used to do. Bin Laden was another Bush asset. You're absolutely right. It did take place under his administration, and then Clinton, sealed the deal with some other things as well. So you're absolutely right. Gary, how you doing? Says, well, another illegal immigrant truck driver ran into a newlywed couple in Oregon. Yeah, I didn't hear about that, but that's awful. Earth, Ocean, Moon, how you doing? Says they're not really taking over nothing. Well, the way these people talking, you would think that they are. I'm not in Minnesota, so I don't know. But the way they talking, you think that, boy, that it's over for everybody else. But I don't know. John says, let's be fair. Donald Skunk is not going after the Russians and Ukrainians. Well, you know why he's not doing that? Because they white. And he's already deemed, I guess, Somalia is one of the S-hole countries. So I don't know. Sherry says, I'm not sorry, but I am with Trump on this. They complain about how bad our country is and how great their country is, then go back home. I saw where they said they would rather be in Somalia. Even Afghan man said the same thing. He'd rather be back home because he was bored here in the U.S. He said he is used to war, just crazy. He didn't like the rest. He did not like the fact that he had a roof over his head. They complained to them much, and we're tired. I'm glad Trump talks the way he does. Okay. Got you. Dorothy says, I agree with Black Alpha. These people are fleers, would run instead of fighting to keep what they have in their own country. I don't want them here. I don't want them benefiting off our struggle. Art, how you doing? Says, I don't know no Somali, and I don't want to know one. Okay. Tyrone, how you doing? Says, the wheels on the bus go round and round. Okay. My, how you doing? Says, Dimitri, I appreciate your channel. Thank you. I appreciate you being here. Nina Turner, John Hill, what about Nina Turner? African Native says the U.S. has been a highway robbery African countries for decades to benefit all U.S. citizens. Says the U.S. has been highway robbery. Is that what you're trying to say? So they're taking money from African countries for decades to benefit the U.S. Oh yeah, they still doing it to this day. Absolutely. LG, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Man, time goes by so fast. Scoop, how you doing? I think I saw you earlier. Nice to see you again. Says that forgiveness has to stop, especially since we're not forgiving our own, which we should do first. I totally agree with you. 100%. Tanya, how you doing? Mad Dog, what's going on with you? Says we love our enemies too damn much. Yep. Vera Sanders, how you doing? Says California, 24 billion. 24 billion for what? Because I know California spends a lot of money on illegal immigration. Del Monte Green Beans, how you doing? Well, hugs back to you. Shut down of the day says they are very anti-black. So I hear. One who cares, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Just me, what's going on? Says bootlicking black men and black women are in politics. Yeah, and they're now being, called out for it, but they don't seem to care. And I saw something, I didn't get into it, yet because I didn't have time, but I saw where Jasmine Crockett is under fire because I guess she ain't been paying her $3,000 condo bill. So I don't know. But they said she's been spending thousands of dollars or whatever on high-end hotels because I guess now she's running or she's gonna run for Senate. So I guess now they digging up in her business. JN, how you doing? So you support Trump, okay? Alaikum salam to you, Speed. Hope you're doing well. Black Butterflies, how you doing? Says Columbus came. What's the story behind left for freedom of religion? Lita, how you doing? Says the country they fled from is dilapidated for a reason. Yeah, it had help. It had help being dilapidated. Again, these aren't my facts. You could go look it up. I know, and I'm not saying this about you, Lita. I just know it's easier to kind of just go with a narrative, but I just impress upon people, just do your own research. So you'll know why you're mad. I'm not telling you not to be mad. Can't tell you that, but I'm saying at least know why. Like, no, like I'm one of those people. I want to know what there is to know. Like, I can read something to see something and I'll go digging. And I'm like, damn, I didn't even mean to go that far. But I'm like, okay, well, at least I know that. Because I often have people say, you know a lot of things. It's like because I'm curious. Sometimes I'm like, yeah, I wish I didn't know that, but I'm curious. So I can't have a conversation about this, and I probably shouldn't even be doing it now because I don't know all there is to know, and I don't know if I want to know all there is to know about the Somali community. But I just kind of went looking to see, well, why are they here? I kind of figured it was a reason. I knew it's because they didn't just decide to come here. So I looked and I found out that they were invited, especially being deemed refugees. So that's how I know that. K-Mac, how you doing? Says salute to you, my sister. I went to Henderson, Nevada this year for the first time. I had a great time. Yeah, I like Nevada. I really do. Especially Vegas. I'm not a gambler. I just like sightseeing and things like that. So yeah, you're welcome, Jesus is Lord. Christian says, my last comment wasn't for you, Lady D, respectfully. Oh, and I don't even remember what it is at this point. Rashid, how you doing? Thank you so much for that. Indigenous Warrior was going on with you. Says, no damn way any dizzy ass politician should have millions of dollars. Yeah, I don't know. To me, that's the more interesting story. Like, how did Ilhan get potentially $30 million? You know, she need to put everybody up on game. Is some of that through fraud? I don't know. You know, to me, that's the end. Like, people are talking about other things, but like, no, for real, how did she get potentially $30 million or even $5 million? You know? That's a lot of damn money. Just me says, well, that's their culture. Okay. Shalon, how you doing? Says Black feminist movement cooked Black Americans. You know, I ain't got time to get into all that. That's some of it. Maybe like that, but that's not why. It's not all. That's not the whole story. But I get what you're saying. Gearhead says Omar, her husband net worth grew 3,500% from 2023 and 2024. Nothing to see here. So what does he do? And are they counting their net worth together? Naima says a Somali old man was crying because he didn't want the age of consent. The age of consent raised in Somalia. They have forced child marriages there. So yeah, that's crazy. Brother Reggie, how you doing? Says get rid of the goddamn illegals. Okay, back to work. Peace, y'all. Yeah, I think that's the conversation. If you're here illegally, you should go. Period. Right? Negro says, what about the rest of Texas? Now I'm sorry, I'm so behind. I don't even know what that's in regards to. Blazing Phoenix, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Okay, let's see. Well, thank you, Rashid. I appreciate that. I shall. Thank you. Thank you for the encouragement. I appreciate that. Nyla says, prior to the Somali corruption, the Prime Minister Hassan Ali stated on a video, Omar is here to take a take a black seat. Or Ilhan Omar stated she is Somali first. I've heard her say that. I presume she did not pledge her allegiance to U.S. Another Somali speaker stated Black Americans are a product of a one stand. So is it a one night stand? What you're trying to say? He stated, yeah, okay. I said what they been telling me. We don't know our father. There's numerous videos of Somali individuals stating they are not Black. A sister stated on YouTube, the Somali made it clear that the programs were for Somali people. Your comment cut off. So yeah, I've heard all those things. And I've actually seen some of those things as I was just kind of looking on the internet. that a lot of them, yeah, they don't identify as black at all. Mario, what, how you doing? It says movie El Norte. So does that also talk about the destabilization and things like that? Yes, Kevin, how you doing? That is Demetra Jr. Does she sound like me? Yeah, my daughter's a trip, boy. I tell you that. Says and Edward says the old show Mission Impossible taught me about the government espionage. Yes. And everybody keeps telling me to read Confessions of an Economic Hitman. I can never find it. I heard it was on Amazon not too long ago. I didn't get it because I'm so backed up in my reading. But when I go home in the near future, I'll try to get it from my brother, my younger brother. He has a copy of it. But if I understand, it kind of talks about that as well, the destabilization of other countries' economic systems. So yeah, Cynthia says one thing for sure: the other immigrants are making damn sure that they are receiving their money in tangibles. Yep, and that's what we need to be doing. Hey, Cassandra, how you doing? I'm doing well. I'm a little tired, but that's expected. I've been running around like a chicken with my head cut off. Hey, Shan, how you doing? So to be honest with you, we have no rights as Americans in Africa, any other country's business. Yeah, but somehow we get in there and then say, what did we do? Who, us? That's what the United States government does. Like I said, I learned so much reading this book. I was blown away when I read this book. Now, it's not about Black Americans or anything, and I read other books that's not about us all the time, but it was just so telling. The story just was so well put together. I'll tell you, it's a page turner. It really is. The Tattoo Soldier, Hector Tobar. Let's see. God, Sarah, I hope I said that right. How you doing? Says they changed the Minnesota flag to the Somali flag. Did they really? Gloria, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. I didn't hear about that. No, I didn't hear about the flag change, Christian. That's interesting. If that indeed is true. Janelle, how you doing? Hope that you are well today. Del Monte Green Bean says the same folks were talking crazy until that video came out of them getting taken out like it's the back of Sears. What? In the 1980s, crying feet, dragging like a hard-headed toddler. What you talking about, Willis? Michael, how you doing? He says you don't want Sharia law. Yeah, I've heard that argument as well. Mad Dog says I went to K&G's and saw 2 3-piece suits for $150. You can't beat that. Hey, if you can find a sale, get it. Brother Reddy says message to Jasmine Crockpot. You better stop. Please leave public life. Okay, I'm really going back to work now. You better stop. Crockpot is crazy. FBA Life, how you doing? Says radical Islam destroyed Somalia. So yes, what it sounds like they're I guess it's kind of like Al-Qaeda from what I understand. So it's Al-Shabaab. That's their, I guess, rogue group, if I'm not mistaken. And they're the ones that's allegedly running around doing the heinous things to people. That's kind of the reason why people are fleeing or they have fled. Just from my research, African Native says that is what Mali, Niger, he says, and Burkina did, kicking the U.S. out of their country. And the U.S. did not want to leave. Trump is now running his mouth that Africans should go and build their countries. Yeah, they probably should, and that's what they're doing. But then when we hear, Captain Ibrahim Traore in Burkina Faso, they're doing that, then they want to send people over there and accuse him of doing things. So it's like you want them to go back to their country, but when they start building their country, then you say, oh, they, doing this, that, the other. Y'all saw they had that black general, whatever, you lying on Ibrahim Traore and all kind of stuff. But people shut that down. It's like, yeah, now you ain't gonna take his life and keep on rocking and rolling. So yeah. Melissa says, yet she knows nothing about FBA. And who is the she you talking about? What's the 411? How you doing? Says it's a beautiful thing to see Black Americans wake up to Dr. Claude Anderson saw and called out. I agree. Vic, how you doing? Says Ilhan should have kept her trap shut, but the Frosters were silent. So you're saying she blew their cover? Jay, how you doing? Says Sudanese Arabs genociding Black Sudanese has zero to do with the Europeans. No, I'm not saying it's all the Europeans. I didn't say that. I'm just talking about Somalia. I don't know everything, but I'm just talking about in this particular situation. Lauren, how you doing? Says I spotted the same presidential candidate as a J6 riots. I voted for someone who was found guilty of felonies. I made sure my kids voted for the person who was found. I just wonder sometimes, the homie, how you doing? Says it seems like Griffs want Africans to go and the modern colonizers to stay. CG, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Just going to the bottom. I just have to remember some people comments I just cannot read anymore because they with the sugar honey iced tea. Arneba says you can listen to Confessions of an Economic Hitman. Ooh, you should have never told me that, because I like to listen to audiobooks too when I not a big TV watcher, but I do like listening to audiobooks, and that I will do. Thank you so much. Thank you. Hey Timothy, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Thank you so much. Says, hey love, hurt my hand cooking. Just saying hi. What was you cooking? And how you hurt your hand? Did you cut yourself? You got to be more careful. But thank you. Fair use, how you doing? African Native, thank you for that. Love and appreciate you. It's much appreciated. Facts Not Feelings, how you doing? Says Arabs and Europeans are cousins. Okay. I can see why you say that. And Dave, he says, I blame AOC and the squad for taking advantage of Ilhan Omar, Corey Bush, and Jamal Bowman. So you think it's their fault that happened? Yeah, she's part of the squad, but you don't hear nothing about the squad no more. My phone is ringing. Delmonte Green Bean says one of them was asking for our help on TikTok. Where is their comprehension? Yeah, I haven't seen that yet, but I'm quite sure it's a thing. Arona says it's depressing, but they want us DEAD period later. Yeah. So anyway, y'all, let me get out of here because I have a little bit more work to do and I got to answer my phone. It's been ringing off the hook, but I love and appreciate every last one of y'all. I will be back tomorrow on the African Diaspora News Channel. Y'all can see my eyes is like getting kind of there. So 11 a.m. Central Time. Please join me there. It's going to be my pleasure. And I promise you, I'll be a little bit more of a little bit more upbeat as I will be fresh in the morning. So in the meantime, and Kevin says, soon we'll hear some Somali say, look at me, me, I'm the cap. You know what? What's the name of that doggone movie? Yeah, he got nominated for the Oscar and we ain't seen him since. So anyway, love and appreciate every last one of y'all. Y'all please have a great rest of your evening. Peace.